Excuse me. Yeah.
Hi everybody. Welcome to the part of Your Broadway World Podcast. Today we got Elijah back with us. And
Guys,
he has some exciting news. Plus, he is in a local production of Jesus Christ Superstar. Correct?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, indeed. Very exciting.
Okay, and remind me, you got the role of Jesus?
So no, I went in initially to audition for Jesus.
Yeah.
So I got the call back for Jesus and Judas actually. So I
Mm.
went in and sang for them initially, and then ended up getting cast as Peter.
Peter.
I'm the understudy for Jesus, but yes, playing Peter.
Uh,
And honestly, like JCS is just one of those shows where you feel fortunate enough to even be a part of it, let
yeah.
alone being a named character is just
Mm-hmm.
super cool. And Peter is a very like intricate part to the story. And so I'm super stoked, honestly.
And we're recording this on June 23rd, which is the 3-year anniversary of this exact podcast. So hopefully you guys made it to the live stream last night since this is going out on the first. Because that's my when it comes out is on July 1st. So hopefully you guys made it. If you didn't, we can always watch the uh repeat. Um, but yeah, hopefully you guys made it. 3 years is insane to me still to this day.
That's incredible. That's so cool, dude.
I never thought I would stick to something for like this long.
Yeah, well, and all the people that you've had the opportunity to interview is just like I'm, very just humbled to always, be like friends as long as we have been and, be
Yeah.
following each other as long as we have been. Like it feels like a hot minute now. And I just hit 10K followers on TikTok. And like I remember back in the day,
Yeah.
when we like first started kind of talking and being friends, and that feels like a lifetime ago. So it's really cool to see like how things transition and progress as time moves on. So
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I haven't even hit 2,000 yet.
Hey, look though, you got like I said, the guests that you've had on this podcast have just been insane. Like I literally will sometimes just scroll through like your page and be like, wait, you're having that person? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's been pretty dope, like
Uh,
to see the amount of really talented and just incredibly awesome people that you've had on here. So
yeah.
like I said, I'm just humbled that you would have me on here. So it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
It's always real humbling at that moment.
Oh man.
Uh, so I guess tell me a little bit about like where you're doing Jesus Christ Superstar and like your role as Peter and everything.
Yeah. So we and this is another huge part of it is I have the opportunity to perform at um basically one of the most well-known theaters. They have won a couple Tonys. I think
Mm,
two of them won for best community or best
mm,
like it's still a professional theater, but it is a community theater as well, I guess you could say, in Louisville, Kentucky,
mm,
and it's called the Actors Theater. They've had a couple shows that have gone to Broadway in the past, and so it's just a really, really cool experience overall. Definitely something that I said I wanted to get back into theater and I wanted to, use that gift and get back on stage in front of people. And doing it in this capacity is kind of like, whoa, just
Mm,
kind of like crazy. But no, it's really awesome. And um, with Peter, like it, Peter is just like one of those roles, with JCS, it's really interesting because Peter is technically the only like named disciple.
yeah.
Um, because he's so intricate to the story. Like, for those of you who don't know, the role in particular, in the Hollywood Bowl version, I believe it was Milo Manheim, who is from like School
Mm,
Spirit and just did Little Shop on, I think it was on Broadway or off Broadway, something
yeah.
like that. He was Peter, and so it's definitely a role that carries a lot of weight.
Mm,
Peter is kind of like the guy that's stepping in and saying like, Jesus, you know, I don't want you to die. Like, I don't see why you have to die, basically.
yeah.
And I think when it comes down to it, like I love the leveling of the story because Judas is like Jesus's right hand guy.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because I was just talking to a good buddy of mine about this the other day. Like Judas it's so interesting to me because like Judas was appointed in a sense to do this, to betray Jesus. If you
Mm,
follow the biblical context and like the story behind
mm,
Jesus Christ Superstar. Um, but again, Peter is just over here like, you don't have to do this, God. Like, why do you have to do this? Like,
mm,
why do you have to die for us?
yeah. Yeah.
Why do you have to fulfill this prophecy? And
Mm,
I think Jesus Christ Superstar is just one of those shows that if you have any spiritualism, if you have any like background in, having faith or believing,
yeah.
um, it's really not like anti-religion. It's really not
Yeah.
because when you look at the story, it's everything that happened just in a very like theatrical way,
Yeah.
and I think it's really beautiful. Um,
Mm,
you know, Jesus Christ Superstar just opened up. I'm sure you've already seen in the West End, and it's a
mm,
huge, guys like Sam Ryder who are playing the role like I'm just I'm very, very grateful and I'm so thrilled for the cast that we have. The ensemble is just amazing. Some people that I've worked with before, some people like our Jesus, I think he came in 11th on American Idol. Like
mm,
he's really, really, really good. So I'm just really excited to meet all these people and just get back on stage, dude, because I've just
yeah.
missed it. I've missed it so much. So it
Yeah.
really is a humbling and blessed experience for me.
Mm. And I messaged you, and I even told you, like in your live streams, and I even messaged you this. Like, I think
Yeah,
that you are born to be these roles of the songs that you sing on TikTok, like
yeah, yeah,
Jamie and Great Gatsby. Like, I need you to
yeah.
be in these specific musicals because you're perfect.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Gatsby's one that I am just, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with the score. I'm in love with still don't know how they make all the set pieces like it's so like set heavy of a show and I
Mm,
just love that. Um but no, I think I did Into the Woods, right? A lot of people I
mm,
don't I played Jack and it was actually for the same company that's doing JCS, but at the time they were not, as like professional based as they are now. So it's been
yeah.
really interesting to kind of see like how the transition has been and one of my great friends on here, Mark Christopher, who was just in the national tour of Chicago, we've kind of talked about it off and on, and I've been like, man, I feel like this is just going to open a lot of doors,
Yeah.
because it's such a big venue, it's such a massive production, and like
Hmm.
I feel like if you do Jesus Christ Superstar, people gotta listen at least when you show
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
audition
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it is one of those, it's Andrew Lloyd Webber,
Yeah.
bless his soul. Like he actually, I think we were following each other when he did. So he did these videos where he was posting himself playing the piano. I think it was in his house, to be honest with you. And he was playing like Phantom, different
Yeah.
songs from Phantom and things like that. I did a
Hmm.
cover of All I Ask of You, and he
Yeah.
commented on the video. And I still like to this day, probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me on TikTok, or on social media. And it's just one of those things to have the opportunity to perform such an intricate, heavy, rocky, like gritty piece of music is just it's a dream, really.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. Um, yeah. I think Phantom and Cats, not the movie Cats, because that was a monstrosity and a half. Uh, uh,
yeah,
Even Andrew Lloyd Webber himself says he hated it. So if anything, you need to listen to Andrew Lloyd Webber because
yeah,
he knows.
yeah.
Uh,
No,
but
for sure, for
I
sure.
think the musical Cats and um Family Opera are my two favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber. I like Jesus Christ Superstar, but I don't like it as much as I do Phantom.
Yeah, no, Phantom is one of those shows that I've seen multiple times. I the music to Phantom for me is just so, what's the word? It's very like metaphysical, like almost spiritual to me because it's haunting. That's the word that I'm
Hmm.
looking for. It's just very haunting and in the most beautiful way possible. And um if there's anything that ALW is really good at, it's bringing a a crazy amount of significance to either events that really did happen, like
Hmm.
Phantom, to what we know is based on a true story, maybe not all the
Yeah.
singing and stuff like that, obviously,
Yeah.
but and then you have Jesus Christ Superstar, which is obviously very historical,
Mm,
so I think I call Andrew Lloyd Webber the gauntlet of musical theater, and I love
yeah.
it. Him and Sondheim are like, and I've done Into the Woods, and let me tell you, that was crazy. The music is just wild in that show, but it really is, it really is daunting, but it's such an eye-opening experience because like I feel like if you do those shows like straight out the gate, then anything else that comes your way, like it seems not easier, but a little bit
Yeah.
more, able to tackle head on.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then that also brings me to this question too. Like, is Peter to you a like hard role very much?
Wow, that's a great question, Haley. I think that Peter, not with the singing. Now I will say that what this specific production company has done is they've actually taken, like in the beginning of, What's the Buzz and things like that, the beginning songs, they've actually taken some of the other like characters, Mary's lines and stuff, and actually transitioned them to Peter, which is really interesting about JCS is there's a lot of like ways that you can move things around. I think what's I think for me, what's going to be really the challenge with Peter
Mhm.
is Peter carries a lot of the heart of the show. Like
Yeah.
he carries a lot of the acting, the denial scene, like a great example. He is a very heavy driven emotional character.
Mhm.
And I'm just very grateful that, the president of the company, like director, gave me the opportunity to step into this role. Because it's very emotional heavy.
Mhm.
And then you've got Jesus. And I also think this is definitely the most challenging thing is me, you know, playing Peter and then understudying Jesus. I've never done it before. And
Yeah.
so it's one of those things that's like Jesus is
Mhm.
always on stage.
Yeah.
Like there's
Mhm.
not a time where he's really not. But so it is kind of like a give and take process there. It's like juggling two different parts and but my main focus is obviously Peter and tapping into like how he felt, even though I can't know for sure, but like just tapping into like what him and Mary's relationship was like, what him
Mm-hmm.
and Jesus's relationship was like
Mm-hmm.
because they were like the way that I look at Peter is he was like a son to Jesus.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but he really was like
Mm-hmm.
um and when Jesus went to die,
Yeah.
you know, Peter was devastated. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's the hardest part to capture for me. I think that's going to be the thing that makes this performance, you know, take flight is how I lock in emotionally because it's a lot of
Yeah.
emotion.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, because what I noticed from Milo's interpretation of Peter too, and I
yeah.
think it's different every person that ends up being Peter in different productions, but
Hmm.
what I noticed with Milo's specifically is like you can tell like after he gives up Jesus, um like you can tell like the by his facial expressions that like he regrets it instantly.
Mm. Yeah.
Like denying him not once, not twice, but three times.
And I think that's the thing is like because Peter almost feels like at this point that he has betrayed himself because
Yeah.
he promised Jesus that he would never do that. He would never, and I think that's such a reason why the Last Supper is such a heavy scene because you've got Judas on one side of the coin who is betraying Jesus actively, and then on the
Mhm.
other side of the coin you've got Peter who is saying, "Look, I would never, rat you out, basically.
Yeah.
I would never, tell them anything." And that is when we really see Peter and his emotional breaking point, reaching that point, because we
Mhm.
realize, like, man, it,
Mhm.
I mean, there's really no other choice.
Yeah.
Either he
Yeah.
tells them or he doesn't tell them.
Mhm.
And, you know, like if he tells them, he dies. Like, there's
Yeah.
really no other way about it.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think that's an important part of Peter, and probably the most important part is just like that confliction.
Mhm.
Um, and also the adoration that he
Yeah.
has towards Jesus in the beginning.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because like you said, if he says, "Oh yeah, I know him," like
yeah,
he's dead. Jesus and him are
exactly.
dead.
Yeah,
Like instantly. They're gonna kill
yeah,
both of them.
yeah. And I think I would also add one other layer to that. I think his hatred for Judas as things
Yeah.
go along, as things progress, um, when he finds out that Judas was the one,
Hmm.
those expressions have to be like really intensified
Yeah.
because not only are you losing your father figure now, but you're also losing what was like a brother to you.
Yeah.
So it it's a really emotional, heavy role, and I think that just getting the opportunity to play it in front of, I mean, 2 or 3 thousand people, like
Yeah.
it's going to be intense. So
Yeah.
I'm very much
Yeah.
so looking forward to it.
So then like going to I'm gonna like compare the two, like going
Mhm.
from your theater where you're doing Jesus Christ Superstar to like say like a Hollywood Bowl production, like what's the difference? What's the difference?
Um, wow, that's a wonderful question. Obviously would say that, well, from what I know, right? This is from what I know because we actually haven't started production. We haven't started rehearsal process yet. We're gonna have about 4 weeks to rehearse, so it's kind of like a Broadway level. You
Mm.
don't get much time to rehearse really. So we're expecting to know pretty much everything before we go in. I would say the costuming is a big thing. Any translation of Jesus Christ Superstar that I've ever seen, the costuming has been different. Just to be honest with
Mm.
you. The set has been a lot different. Like the one that they've got on the West End right now is completely different than the original,
Yeah.
production. The revival with Josh Young, in I think it was 2004 maybe,
Mhm.
and ours. So
Mhm.
what I love about a show like JCS is there you can take it different directions,
Yeah.
um, and still kind of teeter on that line of like, just getting the message across. And so I'm very interested to see. I haven't seen the set. I haven't seen any ideology for what that you know, they intend that to look like yet. I have seen some costumes, and I will say those are pretty freaking cool
Mm-hmm.
looking. But yeah, I think it's a matter of, and I also think it's a matter of coming down to the interpretation of how we play the characters,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you got someone like Ted Neely, the great late Ted Neely,
Mm-hmm.
who is still promoting it today, which I love. But someone like that, who is the original, I dare say it will just never be done again because that was his, that was his
Mm-hmm.
identifying or identity of playing Jesus. And everyone has a different vibe. Everyone's going to have a different outlook on the roles and things like that. And I think since this is such an emotionally heavy show, that if that's not translated, then it will fall flat, even with the great music that it has. So like you got Heaven on Their Minds, Gethsemane, Could We Start Again, Please? Like there's all of these songs that
Mm-hmm.
they were written the way that they were for a reason. And if you don't translate that, then I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference. Hollywood Bowl was amazing. You have people like Adam Lambert, Cynthia Erivo, Milo
Yeah.
Manheim. I think John Stamos made an appearance one night as King Herod. They had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different people in that role as well. But um, yeah, I really do think at the end of the day, professionalism really comes down to delivery and the way that you convey yourself. And I think if we can, I think if we can manage that, and if we can do a good job of tackling the roles and nailing the
Mm-hmm.
emotional side, then I don't think there's a lot of difference between, what we're doing and
Mm-mm.
what they're doing.
No, no, no,
Um,
no.
so yeah, I think it just really comes down to delivery. I really do. So
Mm-mm.
especially for an Andrew Lloyd Webber show, it is all about
Yeah.
how you deliver. So
Mm.
yeah.
Um, Me, on one hand, I love What's the Buzz? My friend Jake, and we've talked about Jake before,
Yeah. Yeah.
he literally does
I
not
remember Jake.
like any of the music of like he likes well he tolerates Jesus Christ Superstar. I guess I should say he likes it, but
Yeah.
like he doesn't like love it, which is you know understandable. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, but he does not like What's the Buzz at all. He's like, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Like it's lazy. It's lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that. I think that What's the Buzz is like one of those songs that is just it's so iconically it.
Yeah.
And I it really does. Like when you put it into context, it's at the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
It's like everybody wants to know, like, Jesus, what is going on? Like
Yeah.
what are you telling people? Like what are you preaching? What are you teaching? Like,
Yeah.
and what are these miracles? Because you got to think like during this time, he was going around performing all
Yeah.
kinds of different miracles. And so, I think during that part of the show, it's like, hey, man, like tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
So but no, I get that. I get that side of the discussion too.
Yeah.
um I almost see What's the Buzz is more of like a precursor, right? It's
Yeah.
more of like
Yeah.
I don't think it's even its own, like, it is its own song, but you get what I'm saying? Like I don't think it is its own like entity. I think it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we need this here so that we can lead into what is actually happening. And
It's like a
then
lead-in song. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Jesus coming in with why do you want to know? Aren't you mindful of the future? It it's the answer, right? It's like,
Yeah.
what is happening? I'll tell you
Yeah.
what's happening. So I think it's I think it's a really yeah, I think it's important to the storyline. I think everything's important to the storyline, to be honest. And then as you get into act two, obviously you have the real heavy stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. I remember talking about Jake back in the day when I was on the when I was on the podcast. So that's funny. I didn't know that he did like Jesus Christ. I think we were talking about Cats last time, and you said he did like the music for Cats.
Oh no, he didn't like the music for Hamilton. He doesn't like Hamilton at
Hamilton.
all.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
like, I still to this day give him a hard time because I'm like, how dare you? I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, now I understand where he's coming from because like I don't
Yeah.
really, because it's all like easy rap. It's not like it's like he raps it, but it is just rhyming words. I can understand where he's coming from now. Um,
Yeah.
and I can
Yeah.
also understand where he with the part of the last year's J July episode where we put Hamilton on trial where he
Yeah.
said where he literally said he's like they literally give away the ending in the first part of the first song, and I'm the
Yeah.
damn
Yeah.
fool that shot him. Like you
Right.
just
Right.
spoiled it. I'm like, okay, but still,
Yeah.
like you can't be nitpicky. Quit.
I think Hamilton is one of those shows that because it's historically like known, I think
Yeah,
that's why they did that is they were like, here's the beginning, here's the middle, here's the end, here's everything that happened like
yeah,
through the process. And Hamilton is still one of those shows that I wasn't as into at first, but then I started listening more and more, and I was like,
yeah,
wow, this is really, I think more so than anything, just really needed for this time. Like it's really needed. I think that's why the revolutionary like movement happened with it is because it's just so prevalent
yeah,
to today. Like there's a lot
yeah.
of thematic elements in that show that are like, whoa, you go back and listen to it and you're like, damn, that is so important,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, but no, Hamilton's one that I have not gotten to see yet. I really want to see that show still. But yeah, no, that's the thing. I think at the end of the day, a good score,
yeah,
it's like a good script, right? Or a bad script.
yeah.
Even a bad script can come down to how you portray it, how you deliver it. Because a line is just a line. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, you can write a line 50 million different ways. It's not going to jump off the paper unless you make it jump, unless you give it life. So I
Mm-hmm.
think, and for me, because I do theater obviously, but I also write screenplay and I write music and stuff like that as well. And so for me, like a line is literally just a line until I give it emotion. Like it has
Mm-hmm.
to have something behind it. Otherwise, why am I writing it? It doesn't make sense. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean, it's better than it's a better script than, let's say, the Cats movie script. I'm just gonna bitch about
Yeah.
the Cats movie now.
Yeah.
Now that we mentioned Cats,
Yeah.
I just have it stuck in my head. I'm just gonna keep bitching about that because
Yeah.
I tried to watch the movie on Netflix because it's on Netflix now, and I tried to watch it. Elijah, I can't even lie. Like I only got to the part like I couldn't even get past um
Yeah.
Rebel Wilson's song. That's how bad it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think that and I've had this discussion with many of friends. But I think the saving grace of that movie was definitely Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
With memory, like and that's it's so unfortunate at the same time because she killed that song.
Yeah.
But when you don't have like an ensemble around you that is doing the same level of work and the same level of not perfectionism, but like the same level of performance,
Yeah.
it's really tough. It's tough to like carry the weight on your back kind of
Yeah.
kind of situation. So
Well, I mean, even not just that though, but the CGI. I don't understand why you didn't just dress up like cats and not do CGI, but
yeah,
dress up like they do on stage. Why
Yeah. You know,
CGI?
the world may never know, really.
I don't want to know. I don't think I want to know the thought process behind that, actually.
Yeah,
It might be
no,
worse.
I get that. I get that. Well,
Eh.
So today's episode is sponsored by the Spur of the Moment podcast, everybody. Come join us every Saturday and we're going to do this. We're going to sit here. We're going to talk about the news. Time to talk about the Minecraft.
Okay.
It looks
So,
bad. So we're going to talk about movies. That new Joker movie is apparently terrible and I want to see it so badly because I hear it's awful. We're going to make some jokes. We're going to have some laughs.
There's a lot of funny jokes in there. There's a lot of weird jokes in there. The Channing Tatum one will always make me laugh. Especially when you hear the behind the scenes stuff, like when you hear the behind the scenes story of how they just phoned them up.
We're occasionally going to have other people along for the ride.
A really fun fact, though, is I learned last year that that Coraline was Leica and not Disney.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I can see why you would make that
Yeah.
mistake. Yeah. Because it does seem like it's a different. And to be fair,
That would be a horrifying, terrible Disney movie.
it would be because yeah. And we're just gonna have a generally good time. George, do you have anything else you want to say about our podcast? Make people watch it.
We watch movies. Sometimes we watch shows. But we always have fun.
Here
On the
man,
spur, on the
a
spur,
spur.
3, 2, 1. On the spur of the podcast moment.
Yeah, we nailed it. Nailed
Spur
it.
of the
That's
Moment
what.
podcast.
Yeah. It's Spur of the Moment podcast every Saturday. We nailed it.
You can expect awesome content like that.
We cut flawless promos every single week.
So then, oh my God. Why do my podcasts always come unhinged?
and it makes it more fun. It makes
It
it more
does.
random, more fun. So
It
yeah, I'm
does.
having a great time. Yeah, it's really
Uh,
fun.
so then I'm gonna switch sides to your music because
Mm,
you're an incredible artist. Um,
thank you.
I always feel like your music had, at least when I listen to it, like it sounds a little bit musical theater-esque. Can you
Mm.
explain that?
Yeah, I would definitely say that there's a heavy underlie of musical theater. I think,
Mm,
um, I used to I used to know somebody who used to say it this way. I can't remember the exact saying, but I'm gonna paraphrase the hell out of it. But they used to say like, once you've been on the stage, like you never truly leave the stage. And
yeah.
I think that is so prevalent in everything that I do. I make a ton of music, but I make film as well, and I think even with my film stuff, that has become a really tough thing for me to figure out. Like, okay, I'm not on stage, I'm behind the camera, and the actors
Mm,
are behind the camera. Like, how do we navigate this without turning it into "Hello, Dolly," kind of
mm,
situation? But yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that because my thought with my music has always been like theatricality, it just has to be there because if you can't visualize the song, if you can't visualize what's happening, then I
yeah.
just don't want to personally write it because it just doesn't make sense. So I try to be very descriptive in my songs. I try to be very directed. I think that's why a lot of people put them on their playlist and why they're on repeat because they can. I've always said like if we see the vision together, like if you see the same vision that I do, then we are going to, you know,
Mm,
um, collab really well together because
yeah.
we're in that same visual mind frame. So I think the more that I can be descriptive with my lyrics, the more that I can be theatrical and do some like crazy vocal runs or do some random high notes,
Yeah.
just out of the blue. Like I think people relate more to that. I've always tried to keep my music and my personal brand as an artist like very
Mm,
naturalized. Not to say that I obviously don't, produce and mix and master my songs and things like that.
mm.
and have a great team that helps me with that. But I would just say, like, yeah, people want something they can relate to.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, if you're not writing music that has a purpose and lyrics that have a purpose, then
Yeah.
what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you just released a song too called I Can Wait or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
Can
I
Wait.
can wait. Yeah, yeah, it's out right now on Spotify, anywhere where music and streaming is sold. And yeah, I Can Wait is a great example of lyrics that were really important to me. I was going through a very difficult time in my life, and I think a lot of people can relate to that song. I really do. One of my favorite lyrics in that song is, I don't want to take the keys and burn this city. And I keep saying it
Mhm.
over and over and over again. And it's basically like saying, um, I don't want to burn this bridge. Like,
Mhm.
if I don't have to, I don't want to, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it creates this, like, I'm going to use a Gatsby reference here, right? This yearning effect. It
Yeah.
creates this, like, I'll hold on as long as I can.
Yeah.
And I think that line in particular, I've had people, so funny, when I hit 10,000 on TikTok, I had a good friend of mine from the UK who actually heard the song. He messaged me and he sang it over voice notes, and I was like, oh, that's so crazy to hear it, saying back to me. Even till this day, it still, like, blows my mind when people, sing my songs back to me or send me something like that.
Mhm.
And he just kind of let me know how much you know, that meant to him, those
Yeah.
lyrics. And I think sometimes as artists, it's easy to get lost in the notion of, like, look, I'm just writing songs.
Mhm.
This process is hard. Like, there's so much that goes into it behind the scenes that people don't, always see or know about.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, your music will always speak louder, if it's directed in the right direction. If it's
Yeah.
put out in, the sense of, I am trying to help someone who's going through something. Best
Mhm.
advice I ever got for this. Don't write the song. Don't always write the song for yourself. Write it for somebody else, right? What I mean by that is, like, loss, depression, anxiety, mental awareness, all these different things. You're never just one person going
Mhm.
through this alone.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think that was the biggest thing for me, is, like, in a world where we suppress those things, where we don't talk about those things, because it's like, who wants to talk about those things, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but those are the things that need to be talked about. And so if there's someone out there who is in that position of, like, look, I can hold on, like, I can wait just a little bit longer until A,
Mhm.
B, and C works out.
Mhm.
But then realizes that through that journey, you're actually learning a ton about yourself, and you're actually growing more than you ever could possibly imagine. I think there's something so beautiful about that. So that was the direction behind I Can Wait. And I'm
Mhm.
loving that people are loving it. It really means a ton.
Mhm. And then also speaking of music, you said in the beginning of this that you have an announcement. If you wanted to share it.
I do. Well, so yeah, I mean, I guess I will just go ahead and share it. So I'm working on a new single right now.
Mhm.
But I'm very excited to announce that it is going to be a part of a much bigger project. So
Mhm.
an album, if you will. And this is really important to me because, again, this music is coming from one of the most vulnerable times in my life that I've ever experienced.
Mhm.
And I guess the big announcement would be that the album is officially titled Restoration. It's called the Restoration Album.
Mhm.
And wow, that word, just as I say it out loud, it really just means so much to me. And I think it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people, because
Yeah.
it is the whole process of rebuilding.
Mhm.
Like, you maybe were in a really, really bad spot, or you maybe have gone through something absolutely awful in your life,
Mhm.
but you can rebuild. You can find a way from the ground floor up. And I think this album is just going to be, I mean, it really is going to be my heart on my sleeve. I mean,
Yeah.
and I want it to be that way. I want it to be how do I say this? I want it to be a little bit more commercial. I want it to have like that, pop like radio sound, but I will say some of the influences that I've been taking from this album are like people like Michael Jackson, like Whitney Houston,
Mm-mm.
like Barry White, like Diana Ross. There's a whole bunch of people, but it's going a different direction.
Yeah.
The music that I've come out with in the past, and I'm really, really excited for everyone to hear it.
Mm.
Restoration, the single that I'm releasing here soon is it's a really fun song and it also means a lot. And so, yeah, the whole album is gonna reflect that. And also, I'm making a feature film at the end of this year, which has
Mm.
been a which has been something that I've been, I wrote the script for this movie 4.5 years ago, and finally we're starting to make those moves now. But with movies, it's a completely different ball game, right? I learned
Mm.
that very quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you start a process and then sometimes you stop it and then sometimes you say, okay, you know what? We're just gonna shelve this for like 2 years and then come
Yeah.
back to it. Because sometimes there's finances and there's like a whole bunch of things moving around, casting people, getting crew, like all this different stuff.
Mm.
And it's just a really great, I'm really grateful for the experience because I love a good challenge. But um, I I am making a psychological horror movie, and I really am just very interested to see the reception from a guy who makes like pretty much only happy, like upbeat pop songs um, from people about that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I was about
those
to say
are
that's not what you're known for.
right. Yeah, no, we're just taking a little bit of a segue. It's fine. I think that right now though, such a great time for horror. Like you just had
Yeah.
Obsession that came out. Absolutely incredible movie, by the way. If anybody has not seen that, please run to the theater. Run, don't walk. But I think we are just getting into, I was talking to a friend of mine about this earlier. I think we are getting into a decade even of just artistry. Like we're getting the opportunity to create more. We're getting the opportunity to say, like, look, I don't have to maximize this on a global scale just to be successful.
Yeah.
I can start from a small beginning and scale, right? And I think that's really cool. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll put my name in that hat. Who knows?
Uh, so then one more time, can you tell everybody when and where Jesus Christ Superstar is going to be held?
Yes, yes. So it is going to be held at the Louisville Actors Theater. It is in downtown Louisville, actually across from the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts, which is where they have like all their, touring shows and things like that. It is going to be held from, I believe it's August 21st through the 30th. Tickets are on sale right now. If you go to redlineperformingarts.com, you can get the early bird special, which I would recommend because those are discounted and like it's pretty good deal. But yeah, tickets are definitely selling out really, really quickly. So
Mm.
just yeah, snag some now and come see my ugly mug and and at JCS because it's gonna be really fun and we're gonna have a great time. So
Oh my God, that broke me. That broke me.
oh man,
As soon as you said
I gotta
that,
keep them on their toes, you know.
as soon as you said that, that broke me. I'm like, oh shit.
Uh,
He did not just say that. He did not just say that. Yeah, he did.
but no, it's going to be really amazing, and I've
Yeah.
got a hell of a lot of support, and a great team of people, and I'm so thrilled.
Mm.
Can't begin to tell you how thrilled I am to get back on the stage again. So
And then, uh, also, can you tell everyone where to find you, too?
yes, yes. Oh my God. So my name is Elijah Pahls, Pahls, because no one can ever spell my last name. I'm going to be on all major streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, Tidal, like anywhere where you can find it, really. So yeah, I got a couple cool songs out, couple singles and things like that, and yeah, it mean the world to me if you guys could check it out. If you want to follow me on my socials, TikTok is Elijah_Pahls. Just my name. And yeah, I'd love to see you over there. And I'm always posting cool videos and things. So if you want to stop by and shoot me a text or say hi, you know, just don't send me, please don't send me any, requests for Cash App or would you like to be blessed with $5,000 today? Because I'm gullible enough to be like, yeah, for sure. So. No, but for real, I love every single one of you guys. I appreciate having the opportunity to be on the podcast again with Haley. It's always a pleasure, for real. And yeah, exciting things are on the way, so stay tuned.
Well, and I'll put every one of the links down below. So you guys can
Thank
go
you,
check him out and get the tickets to go see him in Jesus Christ Superstar as Peter. It's gonna be I wish I could go, but like I'm in Michigan, so it's like it's kind of a hard commute all the way there.
Yeah,
But I cannot wait to hear all about it, and it's gonna be great. I know. I just feel it in my bones. It's gonna be great.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Um,
I'm really excited. I'll definitely send you footage from like rehearsals and stuff like
yeah,
that. And you can find the footage on Redline's Facebook page as well and
mhm,
Instagram page. So
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
definitely go check them out in the
yeah.
meantime.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll make sure to give them a follow and I'll check out and I'll also you can also send me stuff too like you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, I
Um
will. I will.
so yeah,
No.
I'll put all the links down below and I guess with that being said, we are off and I will see you Eternal Stars later. Bye guys.
Alrighty. See you, Haley. Bye bye, guys.